Alpha.
Omega.
Hey everybody, welcome back.
Hi.
Let's talk a little bit about freedom. And let's talk a little bit about slavery.
Yes.
Leslie and I, every morning, are outside doing this Lost Magic of Jesus rites, the opening of the Treasury of Light. And what is our intention? Our intentions are three. First of all, that all those who want to be filled with the energies of the God Force energy will be filled to overflowing with them.
Right.
Abundant life,
Yes.
number one.
Absolutely.
Number two, ascension. That in the hour when death comes calling, that we shed this physical body, like the serpent sheds his skin,
leave.
and we rise like the phoenix into the kingdom of light.
Right.
Okay? Number
Yes.
two. Number three is to establish human freedom worldwide. Well, what does that mean? What does that look like? And what do you mean? Do you mean to say we're not free? We've been told we're free all our life.
Oh, I have my brand. Do you have a branding mark?
Right, yeah.
How many
That
of
was
you have this
compulsory when we
branding
were
scar?
children,
Huh?
right?
I couldn't go to school unless I had this scar on my arm, and that's where I got it too. They lined us up, and they had this big silver thing that looked like a space gun, and they came up and went,
How many men out there among us are circumcised without our permission like I am? Are we really free if we don't even have the choice whether or not our genitals are mutilated? Are we really free individuals living in a free society? Let me ask you this. How about on a farm? Are the cattle free?
well, they can run around in the pasture.
Right, but they're still on the farm and they're still there for the purposes of the farmer.
Right.
Right. And if the cattle get sick, do they have any choice whether or not they're given antibiotics or what kind of medications are given to them?
No.
Of course not. It's the farmer who's making that decision.
The farmer may also decide to just let them die and rot where they stand.
But we human beings, we're free, right? Then my question is, why is it that we don't have any choice about the materials, the particulate matter that's being sprayed overhead every morning with these geoengineering planes? You see it. All you have to do is watch our live stream. It's there. Many of the days that are covered over, it's because they've been geoengineering, especially this time of year. They're doing stuff to provoke snow on the mountain
Oh, like that late season snowstorm
that we just had.
That
Right.
was a freak snowstorm. Well, no, not really. They were seeding for it. It just happened late in the season and was a bit inconvenient.
Right. Well, my question is, well, do we really have any choice? Who voted for that in all of these countries? And when did they ever ask us if they could spray that stuff on us? Do we have any choice if we don't want to breathe it?
You could buy a respirator.
Yeah, we could run around with a respirator. I mean, for all intents and purposes, we have no choice at all. I mean,
No.
this is the perfect example of how enslaved we are.
Do you know who is doing it? Do you know what the planes look like? Do you know where the planes are coming from? Do you know any of the pilots? Have you ever heard anybody say that they know any of the pilots, or that they know anybody who receives a paycheck from anything even remotely connected to it?
You know, they've done a lot of research. People have been researching into what's falling to Earth and trying to find out what's exactly in those.
What the actual tonnage is of
Right.
the material being dropped on us?
Right. Apparently, it's primarily aluminum, barium, and get this. Are you ready for this? Lithium.
Lithium.
They are, without our permission, here in the U.S. at least, dosing us with lithium.
And according to Geoengineering Watch, there is absolutely no benevolent reason for doing this.
Right. With lithium,
None.
primarily lithium, barium, and aluminum.
Aluminum gives you Alzheimer's and destroys
Destroys your
enormous-
memory.
Barium is radioactive and destroys
destroy
your
your
thyroid,
thyroid.
make you enormous. And lithium keeps you nice and quiet and tranquil. And so what do we have? Are you kidding me? dumb, fat, and compliant? Really?
This is what they're giving us.
From the air.
And we have no choice.
You have no protection.
Okay, but here at home, we use air filters. We're filtering our air as much as we possibly can because of this. We're also filtering our water because in our water there are other problems. The fluoride.
Yes.
Hydrofluorosilicic acid.
Silicic acid.
Silicic acid, right.
And
really bad stuff. This fluoride is not for our teeth.
no.
I mean, if we are free individuals, why do we have no choice over this? Over all of these things. And we certainly should have a choice over all of these things.
If we don't like the fact that our air is poisoned, we should be able to pick up the phone and call someone and get some satisfaction. We should at least be able to know why.
We are working on this magically. You notice that I say to restore the purity of our air, to restore the purity of our water. The people think that we're maybe climate change advocates or whatever because of this. No, we're not. I mean, this whole climate change, the carbon taxes and all of that is a scam.
These are rodeo of
probably the same people that are spraying all of this garbage in our air.
Creating the climate disaster that purport to be protecting us from.
Yeah, exactly. In order to get their global government.
It's like when you were a kid and your dad grabbed your hand. And he's like, "Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?" And you're like, "Because you're so big and strong. I can't prevent you from hurting me with myself."
So we are attempting to establish human freedom worldwide. And it carries with it many implications also. For example, another one is emotional freedom. In addition to stuff that's being deliberately done to us, there are also other problems that are already there. For example, the Earth is surrounded not only by a magnetic field, but also we have a field of emotional energy. There's an emotional energetic field that's like a band of atmosphere lying close to the Earth. And you have all of people's chaotic emotion. Mm-hmm. This whole big band of chaotic emotion that's there like a smog over the Earth. Mm-hmm. And then you have also in there sharks,
right,
swimming in that ocean. Mm-hmm. These are archontic energies that feed off of negative emotion of human beings. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. They're astral vampires, and they only like negative emotion. So when you let yourself get angry, when you let yourself get afraid, when you have a fight with your wife, have you ever noticed you have an argument with your wife, for the rest of the day you feel drained? Why? Because during that argument, something was feeding on your energy. These astral leeches, these astral vampires are easy to get rid of. You starve them out by maintaining emotional balance and control. So this is an important key in the beginning because it enables you to begin to get some power over the emotional energetic field around you. Mm-hmm. So you're not just tossed around by it. Most people have very little control over their emotions. They're tossed around by the stuff that's just happening all around us.
Or they experience it, but they suppress their reaction to it and make themselves ill.
Right. So we've got this emotional energetic field. Now, here's another key. This is why your ritual magic is so important. With the LBRP, you're cleaning that stuff away. You're detaching yourself from that stuff. With the middle pillar ritual, you're charging your aura so that you're changing your material composition to become more subtle. Mm-hmm. You're actually becoming more subtle. Now, as you raise the vibratory frequency of your consciousness, which is what you're doing, through the practice of ritual magic, you are, the magic of light, you are raising the vibratory frequency of your consciousness. And what happens is, as you progress, you become more and more detached from all of this chaotic emotional soup that's all around you all the time. Mm-hmm. You're no longer tossed around like a pebble in a creek by these waves of emotion, because you're actually vibrating above. Because all you have to do, imagine it's like a rocket going through the atmosphere, reaching orbit. All you have to do is you have to raise yourself up, raise your vibration up enough so that you're above that pea soup down there.
Right.
Of emotional pollution. And as soon as you get there, you're in this place of perfect peace. Calm.
Yes.
Tranquility. This is what the earth is supposed to be. Without all of that chaos.
Yes, that's why you feel so much more calm and placid when you're out in the middle of nowhere. Because you're in a place where it's a valley of this emotional energy.
Right.
Cities are like mountaintops of chaotic, emotional human energy. And so the further away you get from those population centers, the thinner the emotional, energetic field gets.
Right. Right. So we were talking a little bit about that intention that we make in the morning, and with our morning rituals. This is really Leslie and my great work. We're doing our utmost in order to fix a few things before we leave here as well. We're working for liberation, ascension, and the good of humanity.
Yes.
Really. And when we talk about the purity of our water, we mean the real purity of our water.
Right.
Not to use this as some scam to put in global carbon taxes.
Right.
When we talk about the purity of our air, we mean to stop this insanity that they're spewing on us every morning, not cow flatulence.
Right. Exactly. And for heaven's sakes, can we stop using antibiotics just to make the cattle fat? I mean, it's
they're coming up with super bugs. I know. It's like there's this super fungus that's now, what is it called? It's
Candida auris.
Candida auris. It's really scary stuff. Look it up. It's like really, really spooky stuff.
It'll make your hair stand on end.
I mean, this is like... And then we talk about the sanctity of our genetic code. What's that about?
Oh, heavens.
It's because we've got all of this genetic technology with none of the moral guidance right now, and nothing to stop people from using it.
I cannot fathom why any human being could not, at a cellular level, understand that mixing your genetic material with lesser creatures is a problem.
Okay, yesterday I actually read a news article that they just spliced human genes into monkeys.
Planet of the Apes.
They're actually trying in China to create Planet of the Apes right now. Believe it or not.
Specifically to make the monkeys smarter. That's why we say Planet of the Apes. We're not kidding.
Look, we are in such danger. Humanity is in such danger right now. This is why we're making magical intentions to protect Homo sapiens' genetic code, the integrity of our genetic code. Protect it, please.
So important.
Because, there are so many dangers right now on this planet that could wipe humanity out. And the genetic threat is one of the biggest.
Yes, because we've already seen this on this planet before. Oh, you know how scientists always talk about...
I mean, Anubis looks great, but do you really want to see a statue of Anubis? Do you really want to see dog men walking around on the street? Dog-human hybrid soldiers. Do you want to see that?
And as a woman, I'm going to say, how are you going to feel when your daughter brings this guy home and says she's pregnant? What are you going to feel? How is this going to be for you? Are you excited about a litter of puppies?
These are things that humanity is not asking questions about, not thinking about. These are the real issues of our time. These are incredibly substantial issues of our time. So instead of standing here and preaching to people, we don't talk about it nearly enough, but we are getting up off of our butts and rolling up our sleeves and using the most powerful magic that we know in order to do our absolute utmost to fix things before we leave this rock.
Yes. Leave it better than you found it. That's what I was always told when I visited a park or a forest.
Right.
And this is Eden. The whole planet is Eden. Not some little corner of it, not some particular nation, not some particular group of people. The whole thing, all of it.
From an enlightened perspective, we know that the entire universe is one thing, and it's alive. And all of us are reflections of this one thing. That's everything. In truth, you are the entire universe. And so am I. And so is Leslie. And so are you. And so are you. And so are you. And so are you.
Yes.
In fact, I'm you. And you are me.
And we are one.
There's only one of us projected into this field of matter that we're interacting with ourselves in billions upon billions upon billions of different points of view of people. Okay, yes, we're slaves. We know that. I mean, let's just be honest about it. But we can be free. We have the potential of being free.
Yes.
And what is the way to liberate yourself? Well, there are two ways to go. As above, so below.
Oh, yeah.
As below, so above.
Oh, yeah.
Symbols are what they represent.
Exactly. Ergo.
Ergo. Since everything is you, you free yourself by freeing others.
Lovely idea.
It's that simple. Which is what we have been noticing is that Leslie and I are in an incredible process of liberation.
Yes.
We are more and more free every single day. And this is because we're working so hard to liberate others. It's that simple. It really is that simple. That is the key to true freedom. And this is why we urge you also to follow us on the path of freedom and to pick up also your burden, a magical burden, working for the good of humanity, to free humanity. We work for freedom, for ascension, and for abundant life. What great things to gather for yourself by giving to others.
That's right. Oh, what a nice thing.
It is, truly. We talked last time a little bit about how our culture is under attack. Let there be no doubt about it, guys. I mean, we are in a very, very serious situation here. Okay? And that's another reason why Leslie and I are working so hard. We are working tirelessly, and we are hammering on the gates of heaven with our magic every single morning and trying to straighten this mess out. Because let there be no doubt about it. If they take down America and this global government is established, the model they want is China. Do you really want to be living in a place where, like I saw it this week, the police comes on to the streetcar, the police comes onto the bus, takes your phone, inspects your phone, and if you have Facebook on there, you go to the concentration camp immediately.
Off you go. No questions asked.
And this is the model they want worldwide. Do you want to be a part of that? We don't.
Not at all.
Not at all. And that is why we are working at a magical level. This is the only level that we can turn this around at. Politically, okay, we're doing our best. Everybody is.
Right.
But it's like so rigged against us. Everything is rigged. This whole planet is rigged.
Yes.
The economic system is rigged. The political system is rigged.
The socioeconomic system is rigged.
The religious system is rigged.
Yes.
It's all rigged from bottom to top. But we got the cheat codes.
Found him in the desert. Some guy buried him. Thank goodness.
Thank goodness.
They
He buried him, but they
tried-
couldn't find him.
Have you ever wondered why the Library of Alexandria was burned not once, not twice, not 3 times, not 4 times, not even 5? Try 7. 7
times. Oh my goodness.
They were trying to destroy all evidence of these cheat codes to get us off this planet. They were trying to destroy all record of Jesus the magician. They were just trying to do everything they could.
They did everything they could to get rid
make
of it.
sure that we remain entrapped in matter and slaves to this beautiful dust ball.
Right.
And they didn't succeed because
Thank God, by the grace of God, or by the beauty of destiny, or however you want to call
one
it,
smart fella
buried it.
buried it way out in the desert.
Where
Great
nobody would
place to
find
hide
it.
things. Yes.
Until almost 2,000 years later.
And then archaeologists luckily found it, and not just any archaeologists, because the archaeologists of groups like the Carnegie Mellon Institute and the Smithsonian are part of the problem. And when they find stuff, they grab it and take it and hide it. This was collected by a private collector who funded a private excavation, and because it was a private excavation, privately funded, the results, oddly enough, were made public.
That's really
Whereas
a big deal.
most archaeology that's paid for with public funding is covered up and hidden. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah, so anyway, we wanted to talk to you a little bit about this and about slavery and freedom. It's very important, you know, and this is why, you know, we say you are the liberation, and you really are the liberation. Because if you pick up the cause of liberty, the magical cause of human freedom, it will change your life and it will change the world. And we invite you to join us in doing that. Every step of the way until we leave this planet,
You know,
you're invited.
I often hear people who are talking about needing something more in their lives. You know, they just feel like they're not doing enough, or there's something missing, or there's this je ne sais quoi that they can't.
See, this goes beyond politics too.
Right.
I mean, there's some of it. I mean, we obviously know that we don't want to live in a place like communist China,
Right.
and with that kind of severe hampering of our freedoms. So, I mean, this goes beyond politics. It goes beyond everything. It doesn't matter if you're liberal. It doesn't matter if you're conservative. It doesn't matter whatever about anything other than the fact that you love humanity. You either love humanity or you don't. You're either pro-human or you're anti-human. We've come to the place where the anti-human forces want to destroy humanity. Well, you know, because we're out there every morning with our intention to protect Homo sapiens from extinction, that we are pro-human. And it's time to pick a side.
And there are 3 very, very important things that every person who accepts deity into their life, whether you call deity God, Goddess, Ganesha, Jesus, however you term higher power God, there are 3 very important things that you get from that belief that atheists and agnostics do not have, nor do Buddhists, in fact. God gave us life, the capacity to enjoy it, and the freedom to protect ourselves. Those are 3 things every single animal on earth has.
Every creature in the
Every
universe.
creature has life, the freedom to be happy, and the freedom to defend that happiness.
Right.
Even a house cat has claws. And those who do not understand that our rights are something that we get from our Creator have no problem giving those things away, because they don't understand from the origin that comes from. It's like giving your soul away to give away your freedom. Your freedom is what makes you everything that you
Right.
are. Freedom is where you figure out, well, do I like roses or do I like cactuses? They're both prickly. I like prickly things. You need freedom and space in order to explore who you are
See,
and what you
and
desire.
so many people are still asleep that they don't see that freedom is imperiled and that we're on a razor's edge. It could go either way. We could go into the age of Aquarius, the age of peace, love, and understanding, or it could also be the age of complete totalitarian control worldwide, with humanity permanently enslaved.
And just as on a balance beam, that final drop causes it to bend, you and the magic that you personally practice every day could be that one drop that tilts everything towards freedom. Conversely, if you decide that, it's too much work, I'm just going to keep reading, that lack of a drop, that lack of attention may be all that is necessary for the whole planet to slide into totalitarian hell.
So, do you feel like you need meaning in your life? That's because you need a cause to struggle for. And what greater cause is there than the cause of human liberty, the cause of human freedom? This message that we bring to you is not a new message. It's a message that's been brought again and again and again since the dawn of human history. And here we are today, once again, bringing you this message of freedom, this message of human liberation, and urging you to pick up your wand and join us in the cause of human freedom. Also find our daily ritual live stream.
That's right. Every day, starting at precisely sunrise Pacific time, you are invited to experience first-person shooter magic you'll find nowhere else on the web.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And it's not only unique in the way that it's presented, where you're live right in the middle of the action of the ritual, but what's even cooler about it is the ritual is written in the first-person perspective of Jesus Christ. This comes from a manuscript that archaeologists found in Egypt. And they say that it comes from very, very, very early Christians, but the Christians themselves, those early Christians, say it was actually written by Jesus and was the secret magic he taught his disciples.
Regardless of who wrote it or who practiced it, we have picked it up, dusted it off, and we are taking it for a test drive, and you are in the passenger seat for the whole thing.
You bet. And it's really quite amazing. You're going to check it out. I mean, until now, after it was discovered, this manuscript has been in the hands of scholars. This is the first time it's really in the hands of magicians and being brought out and brought back to life. So check us out every morning at sunrise. Yesterday we released this brand new ebook, Was Jesus a Magician? Give you the basic background of the rediscovery of the lost books of Yahweh, how it happened, why they were repressed, why it is that the magic of Jesus was nearly destroyed and wiped from the face of the earth, and the miracle by which it survived. How we only have one precious manuscript of this ancient knowledge, and that's truly all there is left. Well, maybe in the Vatican they have it, but they're not about to give us that to fill in the little gaps that we found. So be sure to make sure you download this. You don't want to miss this. You can get it for free for now at thesecretsofjesus.com. Thesecretsofjesus.com.
Are you familiar with the Rosencrucifer with what's his name? He's popular in the States. He's the president or the from the Golden Dawn. What's his name?
Oh.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
Have David Griffin.
I saw an email yesterday that he sent out about, there's a magical war going on.
Demons of the infernal realm. All of them.
There is really a magical war going on. There is a guy called David Griffin who is heading all these magicians.
David Griffin is S.L. McGregor Mather's present successor.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin. I'm Golden Dawn Imperator David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
David Griffin.
And David Griffin.
There's a magical war going on.
So there is really a magical war going on.
Alpha.
Omega.